Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at YOLO. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.yolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link, and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app. I'm eagerly looking forward to all your submissions right after this class.
Hey there, kids. How are you doing? Welcome to today's class. Today is another day wherein we're going to go ahead and do a beautiful landscape using colors, and I am so excited to have you here today. Now, before we get started with what we're actually going to go ahead and actually draw and color out today, let's talk a little bit about your certificate program as well as your submissions. Now, coming to your certificate program, like you all know, you're getting certificates for the work that you're going ahead and doing. Just a couple of things to keep in mind. Firstly, do not miss any of your classes. So if you have a particular course, for example, this landscape coloring course is an 8-part course, make sure to attend all of the classes of the course. The second thing to go ahead and keep in mind is to not miss any of your submissions. Again, if it's an 8-part course, make sure you go ahead and do all 8 submissions, and automatically you will go ahead and get the certificate. Now, apart from this, let's talk a little bit about your submissions. Now, submissions, like you all know, we're giving you this great opportunity of being showcased on our platform if you get selected as part of the top 10. But what if on some days you're not doing that well? Probably you're not in the mood, maybe your colors or crayons are not working so well, and you don't have a picture that is as good as you wanted it to look. Then, irrespective, I want to see your submission. Now, I, as a teacher, and you, as a student, have to focus on one basic thing, which is going to be progress, and which is going to be learning, and it's going to be growth. So, we want to go ahead and look at how you're doing each class, how you're going ahead and progressing over time. So, class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there will be some changes, there will be some growth while we are going ahead and practicing what we are practicing. And I, as a teacher, want to go ahead and look at that. So make sure to do your submission so that we as a community can go ahead and learn, and make sure that this whole process of learning is going good for you. Now, let's talk a little bit about today's class. Today's class is going to be all about a beautiful blue midnight landscape that we have. It's going to be sort of like a cruise that we are drawing. So, it's a silhouette of a boat that we are drawing, and we're going to have some beautiful coconut trees as well on the side. So, we can go ahead and get started with that. So, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the list of materials that we need. So the first thing that you need for today's class is going to be a sheet of a paper. Now you can go ahead and take any sheet of paper that you have with you. You can go ahead and take a sketchbook, journal book. You can go ahead and take an A4 size sheet of paper. If you have sort of like a loose drawing sheet of paper or an unruled sheet of paper, that would work absolutely well. Just make sure to have a good sheet of paper around you. The next thing that you'll need is a set of colors. Now, the set of colors that I have here today is going to be the wax crayons by Doms. Now, you can go ahead and take any crayons you have with you. If you have Faber-Castell, you have Camlin, whatever you have, that will all work absolutely well. Just make sure to have a good set of colors. Now, if you do not have all of the colors in the set, or let's say you have more colors than this in the set, that will also absolutely work. Just make sure to have a good set of colors with you. The next thing that you need for today's class is going to be a black color marker. Now, the black color marker we're actually going to go ahead and use for drawing the silhouette portion of our drawing. So we're going to be doing, like I said, the boat or the cruise, and we're going to go ahead and do your coconut tree. So for both of those, I felt like it'll be easier and much quicker to work with a black color marker or a black color sketch pen rather than working with the crayons. So that is what I've gone ahead and picked today. So have one handy. If you don't have a black color marker, then obviously you can go ahead and use another color, or you can go ahead and take a black color pencil. You can go ahead and take a black color crayon. You can go ahead and take a black color normal pen. Any of it would work absolutely well. The next thing that you need for today's class is going to be a pencil. Now, the pencil is basically for you to go ahead and sketch out your drawing. So make sure you have a nice good pencil with you that you can see on your sheet of paper. Now, for all of our landscape classes, we've been going ahead and doing an outer boundary. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do today as well. So grab yourself a scale and let's get started with the outer boundary. Now, for your outer boundary, make sure you're going ahead and leaving approximately 1 centimeter. If you're having a hard time doing this by yourself, then you can go ahead and ask your parent, sibling, grandparent, whoever is with you at this point of time. You can ask them for their help and they can go ahead and guide you on how to draw it, or they can go ahead and draw it for you. Now, some of your drawing papers come with these margins already drawn. So if you have these margins already drawn or borders already drawn, don't worry about it. You don't have to go ahead and do another border because you already have one. Now I'm going to wait here for a second, making sure all of you have gone ahead and finished with your borders, and then we can move on to the next step. Good job, everybody. Very, very, very well done. Excellent, excellent work. I've been noticing that some of you have been a little here and there while drawing your borders, but now as you've come to the 5th class, I can see the improvement that all of you are able to do it on your own. So excellent, excellent job, everybody. Very happy with the same. Perfect. Very well done. Amazing job. All right, now we can go ahead and get started with our picture itself. For this, again, go ahead and grab your scale and divide your sheet into 2. So this is called the horizon line that you have. It kind of divides the sea and the sky. So that's what we are going ahead and drawing out right now. Looking at my sheet right now, I can see that my line is a little slanting. But when you go ahead and draw it, try to make sure it's as straight as possible from the top and the bottom. Try to have it as parallel as possible to it. Great, everybody. Very well done. Excellent job. All right, so while you're finishing this up, let's talk a little bit about the next step. Now, the next step is going to be to go ahead and actually draw the coconut trees like I mentioned. I'm going to be going ahead and directly doing it with the black marker or a black sketch pen because I find it comfortable to do so. If you feel like you will end up making mistakes, that is, if you feel like, no, if you take a directly black marker and start drawing it out, you might end up making too many mistakes, then you do have the option of going ahead and taking a pencil and doing this, and then later using a black marker to fill up. So do it as comfortably as you prefer. Don't have to follow exactly what everybody else is doing. Be comfortable with your drawing always. Don't have to rush into things that you're not comfortable doing. Good job. All right, so everybody's done. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and draw a line right there at the bottom. I've gone ahead and picked the right hand bottom part of it to draw this. Now, if you want to go ahead and do it anywhere else on the sheet of paper, that also works. Now, for the coconut tree, what I'm doing is I'm doing 2 curves going on this side, which is my right hand side. So as you can see, it's a double line curve is what I've gone ahead and done. And this is going to be the bark or the trunk of the coconut tree. Now, I have 2 facing on my right hand side, and I'm going to have the third one facing on my left hand side. side. So you can go ahead and do how many ever you like. If you feel like your sheet is too small, or let's say it's too big, then you can add in more or less depending on what you're comfortable doing. Good job, everybody. Very, very well done. Perfect. Excellent job. Amazing. All right, perfect. So now we can go ahead and do the next one, which is going to be towards my left hand side. Now, one thing that I am doing, and you can see, even if you've done this with the sketch pen, you can always go ahead and correct it out, is have the bottom part of it a little thicker and have the top part of it a little thinner. So let's say you've gone ahead and done two equidistant lines from the top and the bottom. Just at the bottom, just add in a little bit of an extra curve and it'll look bigger and it'll look a little bit more prettier. Good job, everybody. Very well done. Excellent work. Amazing. All right, great. So everybody's gone ahead and finished up with this part of it. Now we can move on to the next step, which is going to be to fill in this. Now, if you've drawn this with a pencil, at this point of time, you can grab your sketch pen and start coloring it in. If you have a crayon or something that you want to fill it in with, then grab that too, whatever you prefer, grab that, and we can go ahead and get started with the coloring of the branches. Now here, what I did was I switched over to a thicker black color marker that I had lying around, because it would be easier to fill in with color. But if you don't have it, you can take your time and slowly do it, and make sure you have a very, very neat work that you're doing. Don't try to rush into your pictures or colorings or drawings. Ever have it as neat as you can. Excellent job, everybody. Very, very well done. Perfect. Amazing work. Really well done. Amazing. Good job. Perfect. All right, so I can see all of you have gone ahead and finished the coloring part of the trunks out, and now we can move on to the next step. For those of you who are still continuing, don't worry, I'm just going to talk for a second and then we can move on to the next part of it. So the next part of it is going to be to draw the leaf part of the coconut tree. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and draw 4 branches or curves coming out of the top part of the coconut tree. If you attended some of my previous classes, then we have done coconut trees before, so you know how to go ahead and do so. So do the 4, and then we'll go ahead and draw small lines coming out of it, and that will be the concept of the coconut tree. If you've never attended any of my classes where I've done a coconut tree, then you can go ahead and just have a look at how I do the first one, and then go ahead and do the next few ones. So let's get started. So you can see I'm doing curve, 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 and curve. So this is going to be step number 1, and I'm going to follow this for all of my coconut trees first. Perfect. Perfect. And there you go. Now it's okay if you have any of it overlapping here. Like you can see, it is overlapping, and that's completely all right. If it overlaps, it's going to give a more realistic look, because obviously all coconut trees are not going to be far away from each other. There is going to be some form of overlap that happens. So it's completely all right if you have some overlap going on. Be comfortable with it, and be good while doing it, and make it look as realistic as possible. Good. All right, perfect. So I can see all of you have gone ahead and finished this up. Now from each of those curves, we have small lines coming out. So have a look at how I do one if you've not ever seen me do this before, and then you can do the rest by yourself. So as you can see, just on either side, I've gone ahead and done curves coming out. Perfect. Excellent job, everybody. Very, very, very well done. Good work. Great. Perfect. Really well done. So you can see I finished up 2 trees. Now I'm moving on to my third and last tree. Now here you can see I'm using a thin point, black color marker. If you have only a thick point and you want to go ahead and do it thicker, that will also look beautiful. There is no hard and fast rule in terms of what you have to go ahead and use and what you do not have to use in order to do your coconut trees. Perfect. Now, one thing that I did end up forgetting to do was add in a few coconuts to my coconut trees. And I feel my coconut trees look beautiful as is. But if you feel like you want to go ahead and add in a few coconuts, then you definitely can go ahead and add in a little bit of an oval right on top over there. So one or two ovals here and there will give you a good look of a coconut tree. So if you want to add that in, go for it. It'll look beautiful. Excellent job, everybody. Very well done. So proud and happy with your work. Great. All right. So I can see most of you have gone ahead and finished up with your coconut trees. So the next step is going to be to draw the grass on that land we have drawn. Now, obviously, it's not going to be one line that is there and, trees suddenly growing out of it. It's going to be a piece of land. Now, to go ahead and add in too much land would be a little complicated. So what I decided to do was just add in a little bit of grass, giving the effect that there is a little bit of land over there. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the same sketch pen and I'm going ahead and doing these upward strokes in order to create my beautiful grass. Perfect, everybody. So wonderfully done. Amazing. Great. Good job. So as you can see, it's giving such a full and beautiful effect. Amazing work. So proud and happy with all of the work that you're doing today, everybody. Very well done. Perfect. Great. All right. So I can see most of you have gone ahead and finished with this up right now. So what we can do is we can go ahead and move on to doing a boat. Now the boat you can again place anywhere depending on where you have space on your sheet of paper. If you feel like you want to go ahead and make the boat a really big boat and have a big, version of it, then you can go ahead and make it much bigger as well. If you feel like you want to do like sort of small boat, then you can do small boat. What I did was I wanted my boat to look sort of like a distance behind my trees at the back. So that's what I've gone ahead and created. If you feel like you want to make it front, back, whatever, that works absolutely well. So let's go ahead and get started by drawing the boat. Again, I'm using my black marker directly. If you want to go ahead and do this with a pencil, go ahead and do it with a pencil. So I'm starting off with the basic boat shape of going ahead and drawing a sleeping line and then two slanting lines on top and then a sleeping line again. So this is going to be my basic shape of the boat or cruise, whatever you want to draw. And again, here I've gone ahead and made it sort of like a sailboat. It has two sails in it. If you feel like you want to make it sort of like a motorboat or a steamboat, whatever you prefer, go ahead and draw it in that manner, because you are very creative and I want you to use your creativity as much as possible. Excellent job, everybody. Very well done. All right, perfect. So now let's go ahead and draw the sail part of it. So for the sail, I've gone ahead and drawn a straight line, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a curve and a curve like so in order to create sort of like a basic triangle. Just that make sure I'm going ahead and doing it with a bunch of curves to make my triangle look good. And again, on the other side as well, I'm creating another triangle with a bunch of curves in order to create the two sides of a sail. Then I'm adding in a flag on top. Now the flag is obviously optional. You can go ahead and add it in if you like. If you feel like, no, I don't want to add it in, that's also completely fine. Another thing that I'm doing is I'm going ahead and coloring this whole thing in. I'm here using the small point sketch pen, because it's much easier to go ahead and color in these small integrity spots. So if you want to go ahead and do the same, you can do the same. If you had to switch over to your sketch pen at this point of time, go ahead and switch over, but make sure you go ahead and color this whole thing in nicely. Perfect job, everybody. Well done. Amazing work. Perfect. Awesome. Really well done. Good job. For the next step, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and get started with the coloring part of it. Now, the colors that we're going to be using today is going to be mostly blues. We're going to be going ahead and sticking to a dark blue as well as a light blue. Now, let's say you do not have a dark blue and a light blue and you have just one color, then you can switch out one of the colors for whatever you have. So let's say you have a lighter blue but don't have a darker blue, then switch it out for any color that is close to a light blue, probably using a purple, or you can go ahead and use even a black. Now, in just in case you do not have a lighter color, then you can go ahead and switch out your lighter blue for another color. And in case you don't have either of the two, then probably you can go ahead and take black and purple, or you can take black and dark blue, or you can take black and light blue, or you can take probably greens. Whatever you have, you can go ahead and switch out and use for the coloring portion of it. Now, the first color I'm going to be going ahead and using is going to be dark blue. So I want to start off with the sky over here. So I'm going to be going ahead and coloring the whole top portion, as you can see right there. Now, for the coloring bit of it, my sheet of paper today is a very, very smooth sheet of paper. So there's a lot of lines and grittiness showing. So what I do is whenever I have such a sheet of paper that is not showing up my color very smoothly, I go over it a couple of times. So you can see right now I'm going ahead and doing a straight set of coloring. But once I'm done with this, I'm going to go ahead and go over it one more time in order to get a smooth look. So here, just one thing that I want you to keep in mind is have your color nice and neatly done. So have your colors to look really bright and vibrant. Try not to have too many patches, or try not to have any gaps or showing up. So if you look at my coloring right now, you can see all of those gaps that are there. So try, if you are getting these kind of gaps, to go over it one more time in order to get a non-gap, clear and neat looking coloring. So take your time with this coloring. You can approximately do half or one third of the top portion of your sheet right there in terms of your coloring. Perfect, everybody. Very well done. Amazing. Good job. Really well done. Excellent, excellent work. So as you can see, I finished one layer of it, and now I'm going to go ahead and do a second layer of it, like I said, to make it look nice and neat. If you need to do this step, then you can go ahead and do this step as well. Good job, everybody. Very, very, very well done. Amazing work. Great. Excellent job. So as you can see over here, I've gone ahead and finished up with my darker blue, and it's looking so beautiful and so neat. Now, what we'll go ahead and do next is we're going to go ahead and move on to the lighter blue for the second portion of the sky. Now, for this, again, you don't have to go ahead and use light blue necessarily, but if you have a light blue, it'll look more pretty and nice. All right. Everybody's good to go. So let's get started with that. Now here as well, make sure you do it slowly and nicely. What I did was I also went ahead and sharpened my colors out in order to get a neat look while coloring. You can always go ahead and do this. I can see some of you do not have the blue color crayon, and you've gone ahead and switched it out for a color pencil, and that works absolutely well as well. Go ahead and use whatever you're comfortable with. You can use a color pencil, you can use a crayon. If you have oil pastels, you can use oil pastels. If you have soft pastels, you can use soft pastels. Use whatever you have in order to get a beautiful outcome. Now, since we have gone ahead and finished up with our black silhouette of the trees as well as the boat, any color you add on top will not end up covering that black. So it look nice either way. Just unless you go ahead and use sketch pens, that is, don't go ahead and use sketch pens because that will cover it up. Perfect, everybody. Very, very, very well done. Excellent job. Amazing. Good work. Really well done, everybody. Excellent, excellent work. Good job. Now you can see we've gone ahead and finished up with the sky portion of it. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to move on to doing sort of like a reflection for our boat as well as our trees. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same color scheme that we did on top at the bottom as well. Now, this is going to be sort of like the reflection of the sky onto the water. So that's why it's the same color scheme. But if you feel like no, you want to use another set of colors, probably something darker or probably something lighter, then you have all the means to switch over. It's completely up to you. But one thing that I definitely want you to have in your picture is going to be the reflection, because the reflection is going to give that effect that it is in the sea or it is in the ocean. So definitely go ahead and add that in irrespective. Now let's go ahead and get started with the reflection. For the reflection, I want you to grab your black marker again. If you've gone ahead and used pencils or a black color pen, then grab that. Whatever you used in order to do the boat as well as the tree, grab that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do a bunch of, lines right there at the bottom. And you don't want to go ahead and create a very neat set of lines. You want it to be sort of haphazard here and there. Now, the reason is because reflections tend to be sort of like vague and varied because of the moving water. So here, that's exactly the kind of effect we want. We want it to be sort of like moving and varied in order to get the actual look of a reflection. So if you look at the trees as well as the boat, now you can see that movement that is there is making it look like a very, very beautiful reflection. Excellent job, everybody. Very well done. Perfect. Great. All right. So I can see all of you have gone ahead and finished with this. It's looking very, very beautiful. So now we can go ahead and move on to the coloring part of it. Now for the coloring, it's the same exact thing. So you can go ahead and move forward than I am as well in terms of the coloring. Just start off with the darker blue on top and then go ahead and do a lighter blue at the bottom. You can go ahead and do a bigger chunk of darker blue or the same equal size of darker blue, lighter blue. It's completely up to you. I went ahead and did half and half again because I felt like that gave a very, very nice and good look to my landscape coloring right here. So as you can see, I'm going ahead and coloring it in. Good job, everybody. Very, very, very well done. Excellent work. Try to color in one direction if you are learning how to color. If you have gone ahead and done coloring before, then you can go ahead and go in a different directions, but make sure that when you have the end result, it's all looking very neat and homogeneous and it's looking like, it's meant to look like that. So just make sure of that. Good job, everybody. Very well done. Excellent, excellent work. So happy with all of your work, everybody. Good job. So now I went ahead and finished up with my dark blue. So now I'm going to jump right into my light blue. If you're still doing your dark blue, don't worry. I'm going to wait once I'm done with the whole thing. I'm just taking my time to do the whole coloring. You also need to take your time to do the whole coloring. Excellent job, everybody. Very well done. Good work. Perfect. Amazing, amazing work, everybody. So happy with all of your effort. Good job. Amazing work, everybody. Very well done. Excellent, excellent job. There you go. Good. Now, the last thing that I go ahead and do was I went ahead and created sort of like a blend between my dark blue and my light blue. Now, the reason I added in this blend was to sort of make it look a little bit more neater. And then I also took my scale and drew sort of like a line between the sky and the ocean bit of it in order to create that horizon line that exists between the sky and the ocean. Now, this part is optional. Obviously, if you want to go ahead and do it, you can do it. If you do not want to go ahead and do it, you don't have to do it. Excellent job, everybody. Looking so good. Very, very, very well done. Perfect. All right. So I can see most of you have gone ahead and finished with your coloring. So excellent job to all of those who have gone ahead and finished with your coloring. For those who still haven't, don't worry whatsoever. The colors were really simple. So you can just click a picture of this work right now, and you can go ahead and finish it up later. But if you've gone ahead and you have a little bit left, then just go ahead and continue doing it while I continue talking. Great. All right. So excellent work, everybody. I am so happy with the work that you've gone ahead and done today. It's looking so beautiful, this landscape that you've gone ahead and done. The previous landscapes that we did were very, very colorful and vibrant and bright, but today was just doing sort of like a two-toned picture, but technically not two-toned because it was just blue. So this would also be called a monotone painting or a monotone landscape coloring piece. If anybody asks you, you want to give a beautiful, nice name to it, then you can call it monotone. I hope you had fun in today's class as much as I did, because I had so much fun teaching you this beautiful midnight cruise landscape that you have gone ahead and done. Now, before we end today's class, a couple of pointers. Firstly, do not miss any of your classes, and two, do not miss any of your submissions. Make sure you're attending your classes and doing your submissions so that you get a certificate. And apart from this as well, make sure to do your submissions irrespective. If you've done a good job, bad job, whatever it is, do your submission so that I as a teacher can look at the progress you are making. I hope you have a wonderful day ahead and a wonderful week ahead till I see you in the next week with this class again. Bye and have a nice day.
Hi everyone, we are excited to have you here in today's fun-filled learning session at YOLO. Here is a quick look at how you can submit your work after the class. As a first step, go to live.yolo.com. You can use any browser to access this site. On this page, you will see a list of all our classes. Scroll down and you can see the Submit Your Work button. And then you will see a list of the classes that you've last attended, which could, for example, show the dance or craft or science experiment classes you've attended recently. Next, it will show you the list of children whose names are registered in this mobile number. Choose your name from this list to submit your work. For instance, if you are Satvik Kumar, choose that name. And then choose the class for which you would like to make your submission. For example, if you've attended the New Year's Masquerade Party session and you'd like to make the submission for this class, click on the Submit Your Work button below that. And then upload the photo you've taken. Choose the image from your phone and click Submit. You can scroll down and view all your past submissions and see how many of your friends or peers have liked your work. You can also see others' work and like their work to inspire your friends. If you want to showcase your work on social media, that too is very simple. Click on Share, copy the link and post it on Instagram or Facebook or any other platform of your choice. Just a tiny reminder, your submission looks a lot better if you could click a photo in the landscape mode rather than the portrait mode. Do not forget to tag us at YOLO_app